You know what? If you remember at the end of the last 4 stars only video, I said that I was being banished back to Leyline Prison. And, well, that is the truth. I figured I would force all of you to come along to prison with me. But besides that, I also want to try to collect a ton of stuff that we're gonna need. So while there might not be too much leveling going on in this video particularly, I'm hopeful that by the end of it, we'll have a lot of the materials that we're going to need to ascend or level up these characters later. And as I learned last time, I don't have a Goro on this account, so I just have to wander around aimlessly and hope that I can find where these are. Oh, this is huge. I actually found them all in this area. That is another area done. I've found most of them in this area. There are 2 left somewhere. I can't find them. And unfortunately, the rest of the areas are in the Thunderdome. I'm gonna make an attempt to actually go over there, but I don't see this ending very well. All right, there's 1 character down. Next character, let's keep going. Just wanna grab as many things in here as possible, and also the waypoint. All right, second character's down. There's still 1 more in here. Oh, there it is. I have to admit, this is actually going better than I thought it would, but I think we'll call it there. And that gets us a total of 66 of them. Of course, that's not just from today. I think that's the 2nd or 3rd time that I've farmed those since the last video. Since Yao Yao uses slime drops, I do have some, but I figure it wouldn't hurt to go around and farm some more of them. Because as I said, I want to just do a ton of farming. So I'm just going to keep farming them until the book doesn't want to show me anymore. Obviously, there will still be tons of slimes everywhere in the world, but my goal is not to fight every single slime. I just want to get some drops so that whenever I'm able to go ahead and try to ascend or level up the talons of Yao Yao, I don't have to immediately go, oh, I'm out of slime drops, because we all know that is exactly what would happen. Something that I also wanted to do was visit the Star Glitter Exchange because Bennett is in here, and I think it's a very good idea for us to pick up a Bennett C1. That's kind of an important constellation. So now, when Bennett's burst is up, Gaming, regardless of where his HP is, will still get the attack buff. It's funny because I forgot that that isn't a thing until you get Bennett C1. Also on the topic of constellations, on the standard banner, I have 8 Acquaint Fates. Part of that was the monthly reset in the shop, but then also some from Ascensions, and we are guaranteed at least 1 purple here. So we get a brand new character, not a constellation. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy to get a new character on this account, but that just means potentially another character that I have to build, whereas a constellation is just more power in general without giving me more stuff that I have to build. The real question is, can we see 1 more 4-star? And the answer it's most likely no, because this is the last wish, and it's not purple, so we're gonna have to go up to pity. You know, Genshin, you could give me early pity for 4 stars. You don't have to wait for hard pity every single time. Just letting you know, because it doesn't seem like you're aware. You know, usually this book only shows you a couple different places. I've been going for quite a while, and it still keeps showing me new ones. I think it actually wants me to farm every single one in the game, because who the heck comes all the way over here to farm slimes? Oh, okay, that was the last one. So now, Yao Yao has a bunch of slime drops, and I can craft even more. Cookie needs Specter drops. I do have a decent amount, but I can almost guarantee it's not gonna be enough. So here we go. Can you, maybe not fly so high up in the sky? I can't really get to you. What is this? Why? Why are you up there? Come back, please. Pretty sure I say this every time I farm Specters. The mobs themselves aren't that bad anymore, but the environments that you have to fight them in suck. All right, the book has transitioned to a place where I don't want to go, meaning we move on to the next thing that we need. And these are both a pain to get, but that's okay because actually, no, you know what? It's not okay. All right, I collected what I could of the flowers. Now it's on to the fungi, where despite their name, it is not going to be a fun time. Paimon. Bad. Stop it. No, I'm still in bounds. You're putting me out of bounds, Paimon. You're sending me more the way that I'm not supposed to go. Paimon, I want to get here. Just let me get there. You're pushing me into the into the part of the game that I can't go to. How dumb are you? Wow. Great game design. Thank you so much. I love it. Please let this be the last location that the book shows. I've been farming these for a while, and I kind of want to stop. Show me that beautiful white text. Give me permission to move on to farming something else. Ah, crap. The hunt continues. Ooh, okay. It's done. I was just looking through for something that we could spend our resin on, and I feel like Xingqiu's what's a bars? I feel like Xingqiu's boss drops are a good place to spend our resin because we know we're going to be using him for a long time. There is no replacement for Xingqiu. Well, unless of course you want to count Yelan, but we can't use her on here, so that doesn't count. Though every time that I come to fight this, I forget how long it takes. How many drops do I have? 7 plus 2. Not what I was hoping to see. Now I'm gonna keep this really brief, but I just want to take a quick second here to ask you guys, other than 4 stars only, what do you want to see on the channel? Because I've seen some comments of people saying they want to see me play more on my main account, or that they want to see more co-op videos, and then I go to try to make those videos and they do not do well. In fact, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but if I were to sum up the channel's performance in the last like month or two, it would be less than ideal. I would love to blame some of that on YouTube algorithms and all this stuff for a lack of interest in Genshin, which, you know, maybe that's a small part of it. But I also do kind of feel that my content has become a bit repetitive. Now, as I commonly say, Genshin is not really the best game for consistent uploads of unique concepts, because you are kind of hard limited by RNG and resin. So guys, I fear I may be in the process of falling off. Also, shout out to those few people that would leave a comment and say something like, Java, you can upload whatever you want and I would watch it regardless. I appreciate each and every one of you, but sadly, I know those videos would perform horribly. It doesn't mean I won't try it at some point, but there's already so many channels just playing video games on YouTube. You don't really need me to do that too, do you? I've got nothing unique to offer in that regard. I mean, I have sarcasm. I have sarcasm and the ability to complain about almost anything. I'm gonna slap that on my resume as my unique skill set. Future employers will love to hear that. But in all seriousness, I'm just curious if there's something specific that you guys want to see, or potentially if there's something different you want to see within the editing itself. Because at the end of the day, I want you guys to enjoy what you're watching and not feel like you wasted your time. But after just about 20 minutes of fighting this boss and all of our resin for the day, we cannot ascend Xingqiu yet. And mind you, we started with 7 boss drops. Oh, I kind of forgot I'm supposed to be only farming ley lines. Well, with our condensed resin, I can do that. We're starting to have an okay amount of XP. But if I were to try to get someone to level 90, at least over half of it disappears. I just realized I've been focusing a lot on the character ascension materials and talent materials, but I neglected that some of these weapons still need to be maxed out as well. So it would seem we have even more to farm, and I really don't like farming the YABs, but at least it's easier to deal with them here than it is to deal with them in the Spiral Abyss. How do they always get this shield up at the last possible second? There we go. 3rd time I finally took one out before it could put up the shield, although it seems like that was a one-time occurrence. I would use the Gaming team, but if I don't take it out before the shield goes up, then I kind of can't do anything, as that team heavily relies on the bursts. The current bounty is ended, and the next thing we want to farm are the whistles, and this should be much easier. I do really like this team though, it's so satisfying to use. Funnily enough, a lot of the spots that the book is leading me to fight these guys are places I apparently haven't gone because there's always a chest. So I'm getting even more out of this than I thought I would. And I was kind of hoping I would get one of the fragments, though it's only one of 3, so that doesn't help me too much. These are some of the most fun ones because you just shoot what they're standing on. Oopsie, they drown. So that does give us enough to max out this weapon. However, I don't have the masks, but I'm not supposed to farm those right now, as much as it pains me not to. Although to be fair, that domain's not even open today. But still, this is a ley lines only video. Well, except for, you know, earlier when I messed that up. But besides the part where it's not a ley lines only video, it is a ley lines only video. Oh no, I just realized something that might be very disappointing to me. It may now have been long enough where I can go back and collect more Naku weeds. Please no. Please no. Please no. Please no. Oh, it's a terrible day. But you know what? This is my account and I'm in control of this video. So if I don't want to farm them, I don't have to. In fact, there is nothing you could say that would make me actually go and farm those right now. Okay, fine, you convinced me. I was hoping we were getting close to being done with the Naku weeds, and then I went to see how many we had, and we still need about 70 more. Now, honestly, it would probably be a smart thing for me to go onto my main account in co-op and collect stuff on there, because on that account, I have everything here unlocked. It's just such a pain to have to do that, then I can only use 2 characters, and so I'd likely be dying quite a bit. Plus, I don't have Genshin updated on any other device, and there's probably about like 85 terabytes that I would have to download for the mini and Apple Wonderland or whatever it's called. But now farming enemy drops and boss drops in that world would be a better idea because it's a higher world level. But once again, that means I have to do it all with 2 characters in a higher world level. Now maybe I'm crazy, but I don't feel like any 2 of our characters can really hard carry us. And now that I'm thinking about it, other than like Bennett or Chevris maybe, I don't think a lot of my 4 stars are even built on my main. So it's not like that account could even hard carry me. This lightning is so mad at me for no reason. I'm the one that should be angry because I have to deal with with this lightning as I'm just trying to pick flowers. Now our total of Naku weeds is 99. Still gonna need some more of them. And I want to be lazy so badly and not go farm these again. But the whole point of this video is to force myself to not be lazy. Back to farming specters we go. Oh wait, while I'm over here, I might as well do the ley lines because some of them do give us even more specters. Ah yes, what a fun time it is to farm specters. All right, all the specters have been farmed on Watatsumi, and don't you dare look behind me. We have a ton of them now. I'm sure it's still not enough, but it's more than what we had previously. Next up are the ruin guards. I already forget what needed this, but something did. I have just learned something about Auroran. I usually use Fischl to shoot down the ruin guards, but I tried using Auroran for it, and the sound effects are just really satisfying for his charge shots. Speaking of Auroran, the next thing we're gonna farm is for him. And once again, I have to try so hard to stave off the desire to procrastinate. Although now that I think about it, I'm not sure if that's more of like a me problem or a Genshin problem. Because if I want to put it off that badly, it must mean I don't really enjoy going around collecting a bunch of random mob drops. But is that just because I'm lazy or because it's just a very tedious thing to do within the game? And obviously, I'm a bit biased because I am me, so I really can't answer that question. So I think today will be the last day that I could work on this video before I need to edit it to actually publish it to you guys. So it is the final push to be productive. And even though I'd prefer to farm the XP ley lines, if we start upgrading talents or ascending characters for the last time, it's gonna get kind of costly on the Mora front. And so I figured for today, we will instead farm the Mora ley lines. Okay, but why does the game do this? I swapped my team so I can get the correct drop from these fungi, but then they put these fire things around to try and make you get the wrong drops. Joke's on them. I'm too skilled at this game to activate these flowers. With our resin spent though, I now have to decide what exactly I want to do to be productive. I know I do have enough of these ascension materials, but at some point we probably do want to build this character and she needs the same things. So I'm thinking we'll take a little bit of time to just gather as many of those as we can. I do find it kind of funny that about 95% of this episode is just gonna get cut out because I don't think many people want to watch me just walk around and pick flowers. Not exactly the riveting content you might want to see. Luckily, these are one of the easier ascension materials to gather. And apparently they even added some more of them with Chenyu Vale. So I really probably don't have to worry about collecting these. I feel like I could get all that I need from 2 days of collecting them. Unlike some other certain materials, there are still a few more of these chilies, but I'm sitting at a cool 290. So speaking of those materials that are not as fun to gather, it is once again time to go get these. You know what? I'm gonna pass this suffering on to you guys. If you are currently putting something off, you're procrastinating a little bit, oop, this is your sign to stop doing that. I did just realize we never did this Onslaught on this account, but also the Onslaught ended, but it's still here, so I don't know, it's kind of weird with how it works. So I'm not sure if I can even still get rewards from this, but I figure we can give it a try. Although I just remembered, you start out with no bursts. So this team is not very happy. All right, let's go for a rotation. Let's get stunned. I love that. Let's just leave Bennett's burst behind because who needs to be in Bennett's burst? That went about as poorly as it could. Although since we're only on the hard difficulty, we have plenty of time to kill. I was tempted to go to the next difficulty before even touching hard difficulty, but I'm kind of glad I didn't. I'm constantly impressed with how disappointed I am with this account. So I want to save my bursts until he summons in his friends. All right, that should be good. And then we can pull them in together. We can use this skill, kind of hopefully tear through these guys. Although tearing is not really doing the tearing. I would not call this tearing through them, but it is still going better than the other enemy. That one only took 97 seconds. Let's be honest, for hard difficulty, that is not good. And then the main reason why I'm bringing this team to fight this boss is because it is going to absorb an element, and ideally, I want it to absorb cryo. All right, here we go, absorption phase. Put down as much cryo as we can. This is a very slow way of doing this, and I have to use Bennett's burst just to keep Rosaria alive. There we go. It is permanently infused with cryo now, meaning Gaming can always melt against it. So that's like kind of good. Bursts are back up and we go again. Oh, great. Absorption for the second time. I'm just gonna keep attacking it. Whatever happens, happens. I did want to go ahead and say the next step for this account would be trying to ascend all the characters that we're using for the last time, but I don't think that we can do that. I think we'd have to spend like, a month and a half just farming bosses. And fun fact, I can't do that if I want to make videos. You know what? Let's actually do out the math. At world level 8, on average, you get 2.56 boss drops per run. So let's go through and tally up how many boss drops I would need. I guess I wouldn't worry about Sucrose, but Ian-san, Auroran, Xingqiu, Cookie for sure. Maybe Yao Yao. I probably should do Xianling as well. All right, math has been done. And in that math, I only brought Yao Yao up to this ascension, so we're still missing out on 20 more boss drops if I want to do that. And the total is just over 200. 206 to be precise. So if we need 206 boss drops at an average of 2.56 per run, that is 80 runs at 40 resin each, 3,200 resin. And if we spend our 200 every single day, that's 16 days. So over 2 weeks, all of the resin going only to boss drops, and I can assure you, I do not have the Mora to actually ascend all of these characters. I'm only at 3.6 million. So it is probably at least a full month just to get these characters ascended. So as much as I would love for the next episode to be us ascending pretty much all of the characters that we're planning on using for a little bit, it feels so satisfying to get them all max ascended. It is sadly just not feasible. However, maybe we can pick like 1 or 2 characters and max ascend them. I feel like 2. We probably have enough Mora for that. And we also do have the next banners already in here. If I get a Yunjin, I don't plan on building her right now. And if I get the other 2, those are just constellations. Of course, there is always the chance of us getting a random 4-star that's not on the banner. But of the characters that we are more likely to see, we don't have to worry about me getting a character and then being like, oh, I want to build them right now. So we'll be able to pick 2, and I'm hoping it's 2 characters where we can max ascend them. Although, you know, saying that makes me realize that like it's gonna take a long time to do that, but just max ascending 2 characters doesn't make for a great video. Please send help. This game is killing me. I want to make videos, but Genshin doesn't make it very easy. But in the spirit of making all of you stop procrastinating and work on the thing that you probably know you should be working on, I'm gonna wrap this one here. So go get started on whatever it is. I hope you guys did enjoy, and as always, I shall see you all next time.